Yeah.
Can do. All right, ready to rock and roll?
Ready.
All right.
That speaks really well. We got Thunderstorm Artis over here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Story Unscripted. My name is Doug, and this is
Pete.
And we have
you're probably pointing the other way.
Oh, that's okay. And we have a very special guest for us today. We have Thunderstorm Artis, who was one of the finalists on The Voice this year. It's so good to see you, man. How are you?
Dude, I've been really good, man. This journey has been so crazy. I mean, being here now in Oregon, and just going through the whole voice process, man, it's been really cool now to kind of be like, after The Voice, what life looks like. And so it's been really sweet.
Wow. I bet it's been a wild ride for you. It's so cool to see you on there.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was definitely a wild ride, but it was like a lot of fun. I learned so much, and I can't wait to take all the knowledge that I acquired and put that all to use.
That's great. Well, hey, big shakas and alohas from all your North Shore family. And we all miss you, it's amazing. I think, we all once met maybe, how long ago was that? 3 years ago now, probably, at the first ever Sunset Fest over at Sunset Beach Christian Church. And we were all there, and that was really great. And, the thing with you, Thunder, I mean, how many gigs did we do together? You did the Revive Cafe, and I'd always see you. You would send out a notice on your social and say, "Hey, I'm playing at Starbucks on the North Shore." Boom, I'm there. I want to check it out. I loved your music, and I just thought I just wanted to support you the best way I could. But you broke my heart, dude. Well, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, he broke my heart. He said, "Hey, I'm moving to the mainland." What? I couldn't believe it. And then I remember you sharing your vision and what you wanted to do, that you wanted to tour more and that kind of thing. And so here you are now. You've been on The Voice. You've done all these great things. You're one of the top 3 singers on The Voice. And did you expect to be here where you are now?
Oh man, in all honesty, man, no, not at all. Last year, just deciding to move to Nashville, Tennessee, like so much has changed since that date. Like I had no idea in my mind that I would even do The Voice. And it came across because of a series of opportunities and things that happened. And so it's just such a blessing to kind of see, like, I felt like God was calling me when I told you even about that, Pete. Like God was calling me somewhere, and I didn't know exactly how it was all going to look. And I just bought a ticket and I went, and I think God really honored that obedience and just kind of opened some amazing doors for me. And it's been such a surreal year.
That's awesome.
Man,
awesome.
And you know what? I got to say, and this is like a glaring question I got to ask you, dude, how did you get your name? You have the coolest name that has ever existed in the history of names. How did you get that name?
Are you talking
man.
Doug?
I'm talking to the guy whose name Thunderstorm, man. Come on.
Yeah, man, I get this question really often, man. The story goes a little like this. So my parents, we have 11 kids. There's 6 boys, 5 girls. But when I was being born, my parents thought they were going to have twins. And so my dad was going to name one Thunder and one Storm. He's like, I want 2 crazy boys. It was just me. I was a little fat baby. And so my dad was like, I guess God put them both in one. And so we're going to call him Thunderstorm. That's how I got my name.
That's awesome. And your other siblings have some unique names as well. Is that right?
It's correct. There's about 5 of us who have very unique names, and 6 of us who have names that aren't so unique, but have special meanings behind them.
I really enjoyed when we were watching you and all your siblings playing music at Sunset Fest when we were there that year. Your whole family is incredibly musically gifted. I was blown away. I mean, was that just a normal part of you guys' family? Was that something you guys did together, like driving the car, instead of putting on the radio, you guys all sing together or something, was that part of your family?
Yeah, so man, for most people who know my family or know of my family in Hawaii, we grew up on the North Shore of Oahu. We had a shop there that every day would be open between 11 and 5. It was a studio gallery that we would play live music, and we played as a family band. Our parents kind of taught us everything we know about singing, about writing, about playing other instruments and whatnot. And so, yeah, I very much grew up learning instruments, learning to sing and singing along with my family. We would play music through the whole day, then go play sports or play video games and do schoolwork. But yeah, music has really been just a centerpiece, if I must say, of our family. And it's just been a blessing to be able to do it with so many amazing people.
I remember one time, Thunder, you were telling me, as you were growing up as a young kid, you watch everybody in your family doing different artistic things. And the one thing you felt you lacked in was like singing. You didn't feel like you could sing. tell us that story and what happened. Obviously, there was some sort of journey there, right? Now you're singing and people are recognizing your voice and how you sing. What was it like at the beginning?
Man, dude, it's really surreal. It's pretty crazy to see the growth and the hard work put in since that day. Yeah, growing up, I played drums as my first instrument. It was really fun, a lot of cool. Then played a lot of percussions and piano, the guitar and harmonica and whatnot. And I was just going to be an instrumentalist, and I rapped. I was really good at that, used to be. But then, yeah, my oldest brother was the first person, I think, out of the siblings. So my dad kind of he had a dream one day. He was like, hey, me and your mom were sleeping. We woke up and we had a dream that you were supposed to sing. But my eldest brother, and he kind of stepped out of his comfort zone and started singing. I mean, at 21, that's where my brother Ron began singing as a singer. And so it was just really, really inspirational. And I'm 9 years younger than him. And I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like this guy, like he can't sing at all, is starting, he's doing it, and he's getting better, and it's getting amazing. I remember finding myself some nights though, just playing some stuff on piano that old jazz standards my mom used to sing as a kid. And I thought I sounded really bad, and never be something I was ever good at, because as far as like people that I looked up to, I was like, I don't sound like them. So what's the point of me trying to even do this thing? And it's such a huge struggle and huge battle to kind of grow over that insecurity. And so I wasn't a singer. I wouldn't class myself as a singer. I didn't start singing seriously until I was like 14, 15 was the first time my mom put me on a stage and told me that I was going to sing for some people. And a song that I was writing by myself in a back room that no one else heard but her. And she put me up there, and I just sang the whole thing with my eyes closed. And when I opened, the people said that it meant a lot and it really affected them. And then I just remember setting up the stage in my front yard as a 14-year-old. And when we weren't playing music in our shop, I would just be singing out there, singing to the open wind, like from people walking down the street or people coming in to sit and listen. I was like, I'm just going to play. I'm going to play songs that I wrote, some cover songs, just messing with things. And I remember my neighbor coming over after a month, and he said, when you first started, I was like, this is something this guy should not be doing. Like singing, you shouldn't be doing it. But he's like, after a couple of weeks, it really grew on me. And he's like, you have a really talented voice. And I think you have a lot of potential. Please never stop.
Wow.
And I think that really motivated me to just continue to grow and grow and grow. And when Ron came, my oldest brother, he had moved to Germany to get married and whatnot. When he came back, we ended up playing as a duo, and I ended up just growing so much under his wing and just learning like the hard work and the things that he put in, and learning how to mimic his voice and do the things that he did. And yeah, and he just really gave me the opportunity to really step forward and out of my comfort zone. And so that was my journey as a singer. And now I was on The Voice, and I was a finalist, and never thought that I would ever be something like that. And so it's really cool just to see how God has kind of pushed me and grown me. And I've led worship for my church for years. I've done shows. I've played good shows. I've played bad shows, and all in between. And so it's been fun.
Well, I love what you shared about when you first started and your insecurities about your own voice. And I think that's an encouragement that people can have when they're trying to step into something. I remember being at a gym with a friend of mine, and I look around, there's all these guys that are just, just monsters. And I remember looking at him just being like, I'm never going to be anything like that. And his words ring in my ear. He says, don't worry about them. Don't focus on them. Focus on where you are right now. Because if you're looking at them, you're going to get discouraged and quit. So you just focus on where you're at. And I really appreciated that. And I want to ask you, kind of along the lines of what you're talking about with growing your talent and have the passion. What do you think comes first? Is it kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg? What comes first, the passion or the talent? Or do they go at the same time? What is your thoughts on that?
Well, your passion is what's important because it's like when talent meets hard work, like that's when you create something really special. Like you can be the most talented person in the world, but be super lazy and never do a thing in your life. But it's your passion that allows you to kind of push through and to accomplish the things that you're dreaming. I mean, I even think about being in The Voice. There was times where things were tough, really hard. I mean, really struggle. And it was my passion and my commitment that allowed me to push through. Like I could have all the talent in the world, but if I didn't put in the work and didn't think the work was worth it, I wouldn't be here today. So I think it's really cool. Yes, the talent is there, but the talent's like a little baby. You got to grow it. If you don't put in the work, that talent would never grow, would never blossom, and never be shown on its best stage and best form. So I would say like definitely the passion and talent go hand in hand, but you got to just make sure that passion and the reason why you do what you do is always there. Because the moment you lose that, you can be singing a song and it just loses all feeling, loses all heart.
What's your reason why?
Oh man, like when I was young, man, it was really cool because my pops asked me, he was like, hey, what's your reason for singing? What's your reason for doing music? And I was like, well, my reason for doing music is because I want to do it with you. Like I enjoy like singing with you and stuff. And my dad was like, well, that's not good enough. He's like, you got to find something better because there's going to be a time where someone like me or someone else in your life, they're going to be gone. So you got to have to find a bigger and better calling. I think my reason and my passion behind singing is to try to create something that's going to affect people. To try to sing a song that when you're going through something heavy or you're going through something really dark, to be able to find that. I remember when I was going through something rough in my life, and that's why I began to sing, because it healed me. And so I know that like every time I step on a stage, or whether I'm doing something through my Instagram or singing in my church, like God has given me a gift of my voice to be able to heal people and to share something that they might need to hear. And so it allows me to stand up and knowing that I'm not just doing something up there for myself, I'm doing it for someone else. And the moment you start to figure that out, I mean, you start to accomplish so much more because you're not fighting for yourself. My passion is for something bigger.
That's so good.
That's good. You know, you had the what's the word? The elusive 4-chair turn, right? Like all your judges turned around and you sang a song, and you weren't even singing a song that was yours. Well, I guess that's standard at The Voice. You pick a song, and but you had a guitar. And you were singing Blackbird, right?
Correct.
Blackbird, and their comment is that you took someone else's song and you put your own spin on it, and that's what made it so special. And they were really, all the judges really loved that, you know. And so I have a question for you. So when you decide to do someone else's song, what song? How do you choose a song, and how do you make it your own?
Man, it's a really cool process. Finding songs. Most of the time is I have to find a song that I can really kind of connect to, that I really like. I have to like really like the song. Like if I don't like the song and I'm just singing it, it's going to come across like I don't like the song and I'm just singing it. But I think a more important law that my whole family kind of lives by. My dad gave us when it came to music. He's like, if you're ever going to cover a song, don't play it like the original. He's like, if someone wants to hear that, they're going to put on a record and they're going to listen to it. He's like, you need to find a way to come up with your own interpretation, but not in a way to overshadow the original, but in a way to pay respects to it and create something special in your own lane. Because it's like even singing like a Michael Jackson song or a John Legend song, I'm never going to sound as good as them, right? And so as long as I'm standing up there and I'm being me, I am the only person who can be me. And so I can do that at my best. And so that's my inspiration about like changing the songs up a little bit. And it's always a cool, fun journey to listen to a song and like, okay, cool. Like I'll learn it and I'll just like soak in it and like, okay, how can I turn this into something else? And it's really cool because even for my church, people used to say like, oh, Thunder's going to thunderfy this worship song or something. but yeah, because it's fun.
So the process, so do you learn the song the way it originally is? And then you kind of improvise from there. Is that what you would do? Or is it in your head already? Oh, I want to change this up, or I want to.
It depends on the song. It depends on the song. Like really, it's like a painting, man. Every canvas is different. But for most songs, yeah, I have to learn it. It's like an old rule my dad taught me about music theory. He said you have to learn the rules before you can break them. So you got to learn the song and know where the song is going melodically and theory-wise to know what you can change, where you can slow down, what you can take out, what you can add. And it's just a way of like, it's cool. You got a puzzle there. Now it's like, okay, let's make a picture. And so it's fun. I enjoy it though. It's a nice process.
Yeah, I totally relate to that too, because even in photography, I'll shoot the image, and when I'm happy with the composition, then I'll take it in and I'll play with it, and I'll push it way past to the point of ugly. It's like, oh well, I'd never show anybody that, but it was just for me just to see what's there, and then I'll be able to pull back what I know doesn't look right and so forth. And you want to make it believable for people. And for you as a musician, you want to make it relatable to people. Yeah, and I love what your dad said, that you never want to take the song so that it's unrecognizable. Yeah. You still want to have that element there because you're paying respect to that. And I love that. That's so true. That's really great.
That is good.
Another question about the voice. So what would be your takeaway from this experience? I know you could probably say a million different things, but if you could say one takeaway, what do you think that would be? And how do you think that's relating to you? How do you think that has changed you or grown you?
Dude, like, I mean, there's so much to learn from this. Like, I grew so much from this whole process. And so if I had to summarize everything, I would just say, like, continue to put hard work in, and anything is possible. I mean, and you can achieve a lot more than you even think you're capable of. I remember seeing myself and like thinking back in the blind audition process, or even the audition before that. I'm just like, I'm a singer songwriter from Hawaii. Like, I'm going up there with just an acoustic guitar. I'm not doing any fancy vocal runs and acrobatics and whatnot. And I remember thinking like, man, yeah, like these coaches aren't going to really care about it. They're going to be like, we need something more flashy and whatnot. And seeing the reaction just showed me that, like, you know, that we're capable of doing so much greater than we give ourselves. And so I'm just kind of going forward with this sort of confidence in the sense of knowing that the gift that God has given me is special. And so I've just got to stand in it.
I love that, because I remember standing there interviewing you for a little piece we were doing for Kahlo. Well, not a little piece. It was an awesome piece about Pete. And I remember interviewing you and being like, this is a cool guy, you know, all right, rock and roll. And then I'm watching you on The Voice, and there shows that light shining, the silhouette on your fingers on the guitar, and you look like you're in a movie. And I'm like, I was just talking to that guy in a grass field, and now there's like this like just glorious like silhouette, and you look so confident and calm. And it's what, 3 of the chairs turn in like 0.3 seconds that you started singing. And it just gave me chicken skin all over. It was so cool to watching you up there singing like that.
Wow, that means a lot. It was crazy. It was surreal. I mean, I think that a lot of people know is that, you know, the whole sound effects when the buttons pressed, like that isn't there when you're on the stage. So it's like when people turn around, like you have no idea that they turned around.
So you're just
yeah. It's all, I'm playing and have my eyes closed, and I'm like, oh, I've got to remember to open my eyes. And so like I open my eyes, and you see all 3 coaches already turned around in that 30 seconds. It's just like, it's like crazy because they're a lot closer than you think. And so it's just like really sweet, but at the same time, it's nerve wracking, and you sit in there and you're like, oh, okay, this is like 15 seconds into the song. I've got a whole minute and 20 to get through still. Like,
I got to keep going.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The composure you must say, that must have been really hard to just kind of keep that, you know, almost like
a freak out.
Yeah.
No, man, how do I explain it? It was really cool. There was another guy there named Sam Wilco, amazing guy. He was another Christian, another brother. And we talked a lot, but him coming from, he's in the military, but also me coming from a military family, I mean, not plan. But he's like, you know, you make a plan and you work as hard as you can. And then you go out there and you just do what you plan. You just work it. You do as hard as you can. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, you tried your best and you did it. And so just like not to let yourself get wrapped up in everything. So we talked a little bit before, and going out there, I remember like, I was just like, okay, I have to remind myself, like I've been on a stage like 1,000 times. Like this is a crazy stage, crazy people, but I've been here before. Like I need to take a breath, stand firm, and just sing. Like, and that's what I had to do. But it's crazy because it is nerve wracking. You're standing there in front of like 4 major icons. And not just that, you have an entire audience around you, and the entire world's going to be watching what you're going to do. So if you mess up, the entire world sees it. And so it's a lot of pressure, but I remember just breathing and praying and knowing that, that I was just going to go out there and do what I needed to do.
I love that. And speaking of plan, I want to ask you about your game plan of writing original music, because I think it was for your final song, you did an original of yours. Is that right?
Yeah, for the final song for the duet, I did an original song. Yes.
So tell us about your process of songwriting. Like, how does that work for you when you're writing a song, the music, the lyrics, all of it?
Oh, dude, it's a beautiful process. And kind of like I said earlier, even when like reinterpreting a song, each song is really different. There's some songs that like I can be sitting here, like, and I can get inspired, and then I can sit down and I can grab my guitar over here, and a song would just come. Like, you know what I mean? It would just be here, and I'll just be like, I can hear the melody, I can hear the lyrics, I can hear what I'm supposed to do in the chords. Like, and there's sometimes where you got nothing. I mean, you got nothing, but I got some doodles that I made in my book, like of journaling and writing down stuff I've been through and whatnot. And I've got the same 3 chords that I've used in another song. And I'm like, okay, I need to find a way to like use this as a puzzle to create something. The song that I did, Sedona, was inspired just by a feeling, if you will. It was like a feeling that I had because It's like a feeling I had because in Hawaii, a lot of people love the ocean, but I love the mountains and whatnot. Like that's where like a huge passion of mine is. Like I can't like explain it. It's just like, so being in a hotel in LA, I was sitting there and working on this song with this percussive technique and whatnot, and this new capering technique that I had. And there was a magazine, like I said in the show, there was a magazine there that said Sedona. And I was just sitting there and I was just like, wow, like, and I saw the mountain and I was like, dude, this is an image of where I find peace. And so I went on like, and I started writing the song and it became the chorus. It became the lyrics and everything came down. I think in what, like 2 days I had the song written. And I went down to my vocal coach where I was like vocally practicing for Blackbird. And I was talking to her and I was like, hey, you want to hear the song? And I sang it for her and she was like, wow, that's really cool. When did you write that? I was like, oh, it's just up in my room writing it. And so there's some times where like songs come to you and there's some times where you put a lot of hard work into it. So each one is different, but it's important to go as far as you can when you're inspired. And when that inspiration is gone, to leave it, let it sit. Let it marinate, just like a good meal. You got to let it marinate, and then you got to go do something else and come back to it. And so music's fun.
That's great.
I love hearing that about the Sedona thing. So you that's like a personal experience for you, and you write from that. Is a lot of your songwriting come from your personal experiences?
Yeah, very much so. Like a lot of my songwriting comes from things that I've personally experienced, or from things that like I really feel like stories that it like just really hit me, or someone's life story, or someone else that I came through, or just sometimes just a random thought that I have. There's like a song that's on my EP that's called Lost It All. And it comes from an experience of me in LA. I was riding on the bus late at night and there was this old gentleman sitting in the front and he was bawling his eyes out, going through something really heavy. And I was sitting in the back of the bus and everyone around him was just like headphones in or not headphones in, just totally checked out and paying him no attention, like at all. And I got home that night. I sat there and I was just thinking about the whole situation. I slept and I woke up and it was on my mind. And then I wrote a song that's called Lost It All. And the song's about as if I talked to this man and heard his story of what he was going through and what he said, because I should have. And just to bring awareness to people like, hey, there's folks going through like crazy stuff every single day. But if you take the time to check on them, you can understand, like, and because like, we're all like, this guy has probably had everything, but then lost it all. And so that's what the song is about. So different songs get inspired by different situations that I've been in. And I think it's important because my dad was always saying, like, when you write music, you're going to write music about something that matters to you. And that's what's going to come across. And so that's what I try to do.
That's awesome.
I love that.
That's so cool. But you know what? Let's not mince words here. I think I know what the real inspiration comes from, bro. Okay, so I know what's happening. Why your music has gone so good, and you know you're really doing a great job, and it's all about faith. That's what it's all about. Now, I'm not talking about faith in regards to spiritual matters. I'm talking about this beautiful Australian girl that you just married. What's up with that? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, man.
She's great. I met her when you were doing worship back at North Shore, and then I was blown away to hear that she was Australian. I go, hey, Thunder, good job. Those who don't know, my wife is Australian. And
yes.
So you've joined the ranks, bro.
Her name is Faith?
Yes.
You got a good one.
Amen, dude. She is definitely just the pride and joy of my life right now, dude. It's been such an amazing thing to be married to her. Like, she's such an amazing person. Yeah, when you were there at the church, it was the first time we ever sang together. And that was the beginning of some really cool things. Like, we were able to do worship together. We were able to kind of walk through the stuff. And it's been a crazy chapter coming through, like, everything with the COVID and whatnot, and her coming from Australia to live here. And since we were going to be living together, I was like, hey, it's a great idea to get married. So we got married earlier than we were planning on getting married in July, but we got married in Good Friday. And so it was just really cool that God's just been in our relationship since the very beginning. And we're just stepping forward and marching through each thing. And for the entire live process of The Voice, she was a huge help. And if she wasn't here, majority of it would not be able to happen. And so, I mean, it's just, God is so good. And like, yeah, he just really honored both of us in waiting and staying strong. And I'm so happy. I can't think of a better partner for me to walk through this life with.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's got a beautiful voice and she's a worship leader. So are you guys going to be planning on doing some songs together, some duets and whatnot?
Yeah, man. Yeah. We were actually just working out some rough demos to a couple songs of mine and adding her harmony in. And every once in a while, we do live on my Instagram and we'll sing songs together and whatnot. It's always a lot of fun singing with her, and she also writes some music. So I love hearing her write. I love hearing her sing. It's just a beauty. It's a dream come true. One of my best friends, like growing up, we always talked about it, and I was always like, man, the dream for me is to marry a woman that I can sing with, because I want to be able to, when I'm on stage, that the person I can sing with, I can be in total sync with. And it's just such an amazing thing that God heard that prayer and answered it. And so it's cool. And she was praying for the same thing. So it's a blessing.
That's great, man. So speaking of faith, but on the spiritual side, how does your faith in the Lord, your relationship with the Lord, how does that add to your creative process?
Oh, dude, like, it's everything. I mean, it's the reason why I do what I do. Like, the gift I have, I know it doesn't come from just, I put a lot of hard work in, but that's not where it comes from. Like, the thing that, I don't know, that makes it different from everything else is God. That's why it's so important when I write music, like always in the teachings and when I'm trying to cultivate through my music is coming from that. And so, I mean, God is a huge part of everything that I am. But I heard this Christian rapper, it's funny, this rapper named NF, if you've ever heard of him, really good guy. He said something really good. He said, I'm not a Christian rapper, but I'm a Christian who raps, because I was a Christian first, and a rapper is just something I do. And so I really love that mentality of like, hey, I'm a musician, but like I was a Christian first. So this thing is like, God is all over it. And so everything that I'm doing, everything I say, the way I carry myself, the conversations that I'm in, I'm always want to straightforward let people know that God is the center of everything I do. Like when it comes to music, like I won't sing and I won't write anything that I wouldn't feel comfortable singing in a church in front of my grandmother, in front of a newborn child. Like, and that's just it's the way it is. Like, I mean, God is the whole reason why we're all here, man. It's the only reason why I'm still here. Like, if it wasn't for God, I don't know where I'd be.
I love that. And I love one of the, what do you call them? Coaches, judges on The Voice. Oh, the lady, what was her name? I don't even know her name. Kelly Clarkson. Oh my gosh. I love what she said. She said, what your voice is a gift from God. She said, we can't coach you any better than what God's given you the gift for. And I love that she said that.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet, man. Totally unexpected. I was just like, wow.
Yeah. Well, that's a God glorifying moment on national television, which I love seeing stuff like that. I want to ask you, to ask you a question, for any creatives or aspiring singer-songwriters out there, what advice would you give them? What word of encouragement would you give to them?
Man, keep writing. We all write bad songs. Keep writing, keep trying, keep grinding, and surround yourself with people who are better than you. And really, my pops always said, I love referencing things my dad said. He was like Mr. Miyagi. He had all these cool sayings. But he was like, there's two ways to take criticism. One is to say no one, they don't know what they're talking about. Right? He had much colorful words, more colorful words that he would say. But the other way is to say, whether or not I agree with them, they saw something wrong that needed to be fixed. So go work on it and present it back. And he said, which one's more productive and which one's more destructive? He's like, if remembering why we're doing what we're doing. So when it comes to songwriting, man, surround yourself with people who are better than you. Surround yourself with people who are going to be honest with you and going to be raw with you. You don't want someone just blowing your trumpet. You just get a big head and you get slow. And so when you're still water, man, that's when the algae and all the germs and stuff are able to grow, right? And so when you're running and you're around people who are pushing you, that's when you're flowing, you're creating things that are new, and God is able to work in you. So as a songwriter or a creative, anywhere, and I've got lots to learn, but I've been working on it really hard. And I would just say, just perseverance, keep going, keep pushing, keep writing, and go back to the songs you've written, fine tune them even more. There's always something you can add. There's always something you can take away, and less is more when it comes to music. So,
Hey, so when you come to North Shore, you got to teach me the whole Catan board game, man. Come on.
I'll teach you some tricks. I got to teach you Catan and chess, man. Chess is what it's all about.
I know chess, bro. I know chess. Okay. Let's do that.
Challenge.
Let's go hang out. Yeah.
Let's do it for sure, man. I'll let you guys know for sure when I come back to the island, man, which I hope is very soon.
That's right. Maybe we could record an impromptu unplugged concert here for Call of TV or something. We'll get a spot.
Yeah. Let's do it.
God bless you, bro.
Yeah, God bless you guys, man.
Yeah.
Bless
God bless you, man. We'll see you.